Okay, hello, welcome back to another game of chess. Today we are going to play the French defense against e4. I'm going for e6 here, trying to get maybe an advanced French. We see f4 though. Wow, is this... I believe this is known as La Bourdonnais variation, named after Louis-Charles Mahe de la Bourdonnais, which I will check in the analysis afterwards. I think we played d5 anyway. He was like an 1830s, he kind of dominated the 1830s, 1820s, but now we see the advance. Okay, this is very, very interesting. I mean, if we see d4, it's probably less interesting because then it's just a move order into some standard stuff. Yeah, c3, probably just to play d4, honestly. Interesting though, very interesting. We'll play bishop d7 and maybe some rook c8. Okay, yeah, now this is just a fairly standard advanced French. We want to play queen to b6 here, piling on the pressure onto d4. But okay, they went. Yeah, now it sort of doesn't matter that they went for f4 first. I thought that was going to be a more, individual idea than it was. Because this just transposes into some pretty standard stuff. Here we're going to go for knight g to e7, which I don't know. Yeah, you can't really take it. Wow, g4 preventing knight f5. That is nice. I like how my opponent's playing. It does leave them with very shaky castling prospects. And surely I can play h5 actually. Because you can't go h3 because takes and you lose a rook. So if I go h5 and you push past, then I have f5 permanently for my knight. And if you don't, I'm just going to take and then go knight f5. I like h5. I like this. I'm not sure either of us are going to castle. Leaving the kings in the center, no castling chess. How about that? I mean, my opponent still may go for it, but it would be a bad idea, especially with the queen on this diagonal. Yeah, castling would be absolutely horrible here. I don't really know what they do. I think g4 was maybe a little bit hasty because yes, you don't want to allow the knight to f5 because then there's a lot of pressure here. f5 is a beautiful square for the knight, but at the same time, like h5 and yes, you take. Now I don't even know if I want to take here. Because then there's some knight discovery. Now, maybe knight g5. I'm more inclined to just do this for some reason. I feel like we just leave the horrible structure here. In fact, I would not have taken if I were my opponent. Because now f5 is what's known as an outpost. So there is no opponent pawn which can defend this square now. There is no pawn in the g file or no white pawn in the g file. And the white pawn that is in the e file here cannot obviously go backwards to defend this square. So this is a beautiful square for the knight. I could play knight f5 now, or I play rook takes h5. Maybe knight g5. Then where am I moving the rook to? I could just go back, honestly. And the thing is, if I go knight f5 now and then the knight moves maybe to g5, let's say, it might be kind of hard for me to take this pawn. So I think what I will do is make the most of my opportunity to take the pawn here. Meaning that my rook is open. They do go knight g5, but I think I'll just step all the way back. I mean, I can't go here. Does it make sense to go rook h4? I mean, yes, there's pressure on f4, but it's just held. And, oh, there's maybe some intriguing idea where this bishop becomes overworked and we put pressure here on b2, but I feel like rook f4 and my rook may end up just getting attacked and trapped and not having the best time. But all at the same time, guys, it looks fun. So why not? Why not? Rook to h4. We now have a super active rook. And it's a really key idea, really thematic idea. Whenever your opponent has a pawn on g4 or b4, or the same if you're playing white on b5 or g5, going for these a5, a4, h5 and h4 cases respectively. So, you know, I've just covered 4 different cases there, but in the case where we see g4, going for h5 is often a really good idea. And now the bishop vacates its defense of this square. Surely that's not a good move. Also, I can do this, but then you step back. I see the point. Oh no, but you step back and I just take this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Knight f5. Okay, I think I'm really winning here. I mean, it doesn't seem so obvious, but I think if we look at the computer evaluation, move 11, I'll remember after bishop e3, I think I'm going to be doing really well. My prediction, I don't know, like -4.5 out of nowhere, just going to say it. If I take this and we see bishop f2, can I take this or is my rook getting trapped? honestly, I don't care if my rook gets trapped. I'll sack it for a bishop or something. Why not? I want my knight on f5. Is it getting trapped? I don't care. I don't care. We're taking the pawn. We're taking the pawn, and the castle. Wow. When I said I was going to sack it for a bishop, I was kind of joking, but also maybe not. Maybe I will be sacking it for a bishop. That's a crazy committal move. Okay, so we don't have to sack it yet. I can take here, and you have to play knight to d2, otherwise I'm going to take your rook. So queen b2, knight d2. I could then play queen c3, and like you're just getting completely undermined here, and then this is going to lose all support. I think we just go for this, guys. I think we just applied pressure at all the right points in the position, and we're just like swarming in around the sides here. Now if I take this, maybe rook c1, and I don't know, is that actually a good move? I'm a little bit scared of rook b1 and like taking here, because my king is not so safe. I should probably at some point castle, move the bishop and play rook to h8, because my opponent's still got quite a lot of developed pieces, so I'm a little bit concerned, but we could be 3 pawns up here. Rook c1, like queen a5, and then you take this, and I take here maybe? Oh, okay, you know what, guys, we're just going to take all the pawns. I mean, we're now 3 pawns up. And this pawn is the most hanging thing I've ever seen in my life. What is going on? So we do see rook c1. Now, obviously, I have no moves across here. Knight holding this, of course. And it doesn't seem to make any sense to go anywhere other than queen a5, I think. Knight to here. We can always retreat down this diagonal. This is the reason I like queen a5, is that it's actually a rerouting process. Down all the way. Look at this. Queen a5 to play queen d8 to attack the knight, to come back in this side of the board. Because I want to be over this side of the board. I want to be generally within this vicinity, attacking the king here, in this sort of yellow square. Maybe we can extend that a little over here. This quadrant of the board, let's say. Now, I can't go this way, so I'm going to bounce all the way back here, go all the way back here, and then all the way out here. That's the plan, in general. So they take, which I was expecting. Now I can take this, right? It is a free pawn. It also means my rook's probably not getting trapped, because I can just go all the way over here if I need to. Wait, can I sack my rook now? Because hello, rook takes, bishop takes. Oh, guys, and if rook takes, then queen takes, and we're just... Guys, I think we can sack this here, and if king takes, then what? Guys, we're just going to trust the process. Remove the dark square bishop. Sack the rook. I mean, I called it. I called it. I said we were going to sack the rook for a bishop. This surely is just beautiful, right? Now I take this. This has to be the right move. Check. Vicious. We've got 3 pawns and a bishop. I mean, that was probably unnecessary. Wow, now we take here. I don't know why they sacked the rook back. I mean, I guess actually probably it would have just been too bad to let us have a dark square bishop. We'll look in the analysis, but I think this makes it maybe a tiny bit easier for me. Look at the state of my opponent's position. Now I can take this if I want. Which I think makes a lot of sense, because then I'm freeing up the bishop as well. Okay, so we pick up this pawn. There's no problem there, is there? Don't think so. Right. We are now 4 pawns up. We have just taken our opponent is left with their flank pawns. What is going on? Look how this position looks so dumb. Okay, knight b3. The king's viciously in the center. We have some idea of knight to e3 at some point forking, but if knight e3 now, they take the queen. So do we just go queen b4? Check. I think so, honestly. Or I just go queen here for some reason. Maybe hit the knight. Could make a lot of sense. This is so beautiful. I'm going to go queen to b4, I think. Give this check. It's the most forcing move, I believe. Our opponent has 1, 2, 3 legal moves. Don't see any others immediately, unless I'm being a moron. If they go here and they subject themselves to a queen trade, there is no way that I don't win that endgame. So I would rule this out as a move. Knight, really? it just can't be a playable. Like if we just trade the queens, we're just gonna be so winning. This was oh my days. This was such a lovely game. This was such a satisfying game. Is there anything we can do here that's like just a little bit dank? I mean, we could play knight to e3, because if they take our free queen, we could go here and win it back. That seems unnecessarily extravagant and probably is a blunder in some way. So let's just trade the queens. Trading the queens, we've still got these knights in the center. We can still massively look to exploit this king. This knight's off doing something, I don't know what, over here. And just to make sure I don't lose on time, let's try and pick up the pace with rook to c8. I mean, guys, if you want a masterclass on just how to use your pieces, look at this. This is lovely. This is absolutely lovely. That idea of h5, where was it? We'll look at it in the analysis actually. But wow. And we've just got these 4 beautiful connected pawns. There is just nothing wrong with my position right now. I cannot pick a single weakness. My opponent's pieces are just horrible. Like they're horribly coordinated. So the knight jumps in here, like what? I can go here and force some material off the board. But also that makes no, like why have they gone here? I play b6, they jump in. And I go rook c7 and their knight's trapped. Yeah, we're just gonna play b6. If they jump in, their knight is inevitably going to become trapped. As I hold all these squares and this square is held by my knight. There is a potential tactic where they sack their rook and then fork, but it's like that's just a trade. So rook c7. If rook c7 and they sack their rook, yeah, then we just take, and if they give the check, we just go up and we're fine. Yeah, so rook c7, and now we're just completely winning. You go check here, you just lose the game. Yeah, our opponent, wow. I feel like they've kind of given up at this point. They're going for cheap tricks. They do sack the rook to give the check and save the knight. Now I could take this and then lose a knight. No, I couldn't. Let's just do this. And now, yeah, I mean, there's just nothing left for my opponent, right? We go here. This check's held. This check's held. There are no other playable checks. We have knight to c4, forcing at least the knights off the board, and maybe the bishop, let's say. But wow. This isn't even hanging. Just as a... Okay, now we can just take this and, I mean, just go up and hit the bishop. And then we're going to go over here and hit the pawn. Just indefensible stuff because we hold this square. And there is not a 0th rank to go back on. You know, if you could play bishop c0, that would be kind of helpful. Now we'll just take this. There is no danger of us losing this game now. And we can go... I'll give this check. We'll hit the pawn and the king. And if you want to take, it's just yet another trade. And then after that, I'll be attacking your knight, and then I can take on h2. Wow. Wow. Our opponent is left with absolutely nothing. Here, we will then go king d6 after they take our pawn with check. No more checks. And, okay, worst case scenario, it's a draw because they have a knight. Let's go check. Let's hang our rook. Oh, my rook, I can't believe it. Like, we just have 5 extra pawns. Now we take. And, I mean, if my opponent plays this on, I'm going to promote to, like, a bunch of knights. We'll go here to hold, and if you take, then you're too far away to catch the pawn here. And then we can just push. Here, I'm just going to start pre-moving now. We're going to be disrespectful here, because my opponent's not resigning. They're maybe playing for the stalemate or the flag. I mean, absolutely well within their right, but the problem is they will suffer the unfortunate consequence that I'm making some knights, and they will be thoroughly disrespected. Now, no disrespect to my opponent. Who am I kidding? I'm promoting to knights. What, like... Check.